Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and here we are learning how to speak English fluently, and we are learning English in a very easy way. देखिए easy way का मतलब ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं है कि अपने आप आ जाएगी. In the last videos we discussed a technique that is shadowing technique. Shadowing technique is simply you follow the good speakers, maybe native speakers closely, and when you listen to native speakers or good speakers, you try to catch, you try to find out the way they speak English. Maybe you catch the words, maybe you catch the pronunciation. And now another source is the book. In my opinion, reading a book is a great source for learning English. आप देखिए गाइस, जब बुक पढ़ते हैं तो बस उस बुक में आप अपने आप को डुबा दीजिए. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, व्हेन यू लव द बुक यू लव द लैंग्वेज, एंड व्हेन यू लव द लैंग्वेज यू कैन ग्रैस्प द लैंग्वेज. और देखो, जैसे ये वर्ड्स आपके पास में आएंगे, ये इतनी पढ़िए बुक को, इतना पढ़िए बुक को कि आपको वर्ड्स ढूंढने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. इस बात का मतलब ये है कि जब आप बुक पढ़ने लगते हैं, try to remember the words, try to remember the phrases, try to remember the ideas, and trust me guys, ideas are a great source of a great life. तो जब आप बुक पढ़ते हैं तो you learn a lot of things, you learn the language, you learn the idea. और ये जो बुक है guys, The Alchemist by Paul Coelho, बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त बुक है. आप इसको पढ़ेंगे ना, ट्रस्ट मी, कि आप इंग्लिश तो सीखिए सीखिए, पर आपको जीवन की बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें सीखने को मिलेंगी. तो चलो अब हम शुरुआत करते हैं फर्स्ट पेज से. बुक का नाम है द एल्केमिस्ट बाय पॉल कोहेलो. एंड द बुक और द एल्केमिस्ट का मतलब क्या होता है गाइस? एल्केमिस्ट का मतलब यह है कि जो जो चीप मेटल को, कोई भी बेस मेटल है, उसको बिल्कुल महंगी में गोल्ड में कन्वर्ट कर दे. सो इट मीन्स दैट जो बहुत अच्छा कर दे, बहुत ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कर दे, वही मतलब है एल्केमिस्ट का. तो देखो, चलो लेट अस रीड टुगेदर. द बॉयज नेम वाज सेंटियागो. Dusk was falling as the boy arrived with his herd at an abandoned church. The roof had fallen in long ago, and an enormous sycamore had grown on the spot where the sacristy had once stood. He decided to spend the night there. He saw to it that all the sheep entered through the ruined gate, and then laid some planks across it to prevent the flock from wandering away during the night. There were no wolves in the region, but once an animal had strayed during the night, and the boy had to spend the entire next day searching for it. He swept the floor with his jacket and lay down, using the book he had just finished reading as a pillow. He told himself that he would have to start reading thicker books. They lasted longer and made more comfortable pillows. It was still dark when he awoke, and looking up, he could see the stars through the half-destroyed roof. I wanted to sleep a little longer, he thought. He had had the same dream that night as a week ago, and once again he had awakened before it ended. He arose and, taking up his crook, began to awaken the sheep that still slept. He had noticed that as soon as he awoke, most of his animals also began to stir. It was as if some mysterious energy bound his life to that of the sheep with whom he had spent the past 2 years, leading them through the countryside in search of food and water. They are also so used to me that they know my schedule, he muttered. Thinking about that for a moment, he realized that it could be the other way around. It was he who had become accustomed to their schedule. तो देखिए गाइस, ये कहानी एक लड़के की है, सैंटियागो, और जो कि शेफर्ड है. But then, next page. But there were certain of them who took a bit longer to awaken. The boy prodded them one by one with his crook, calling each by name. He had always believed that the sheep were able to understand what he said. So there were times when he read them parts of his books that had made an impression on him, or when he would tell them of the loneliness or the happiness of a shepherd in the fields. Sometimes he would comment to them on the things he had seen in the villages they passed. But for the past few days he had spoken to them about only one thing, the girl, the daughter of a merchant who lived in the village. They would reach in about 4 days. He had been to the village only once the year before. The merchant was the proprietor of a dry goods shop, and he always demanded that the sheep be sheared in his presence, so that he would not be cheated. A friend had told the boy about the shop, and he had taken his sheep there. I need to sell some wool, the boy told the merchant. The shop was busy, and then men asked the shepherd to wait until the afternoon. So the boy sat on the steps of the shop and took a book from his bag. I didn't know shepherds knew how to read, said a girl's voice behind him. The girl was typical of the region of Andalusia, with flowing black hair and eyes that vaguely recalled the Moorish conquerors. Well, usually I learn more from my sheep than from books, he answered. During the 2 hours that they talked, she told him she was the merchant's daughter and spoke of life in the village, where each day was like all the others. The shepherd told her of the Andalusian countryside and related news from the other towns where he had stopped. It was a pleasant change from talking to his sheep. How did you learn to read? The girl asked at one point. Like everybody learns, he said, in a school. Well, if you know how to read, why are you just a shepherd? The boy mumbled an answer that allowed him to avoid responding to her question. He was sure the girl would never understand. He went on telling stories about his travels, and her bright Moorish eyes went wide with fear and surprise. As the time passed, the boy found himself wishing that the day would never end, that her father would stay busy and keep him waiting for 3 days. He recognized that he was feeling something he had never experienced before, the desire to live in one place forever. With the girl with the raven hair, his days would never be the same again. With the girl with the raven hair, his days would never be the same again. Raven guys एक बर्ड होती है, और उसी के लिए उसने उस लड़की के जो हेयर थे उसको उन्होंने raven hair कहा है. With the girl with the raven hair, his days would never be the same again. But finally the merchant appeared and asked the boy to shear 4 sheep. Shear का मतलब होता है जो sheep की जो hair उतारते हैं, या to cut off the hair from the sheep. So this is called a shear. He paid for the wool and asked the shepherd to come back the following year. तो गाइस देखिए कितनी ब्यूटीफुल स्टोरी थी. आप इसको जब मैं यहाँ पे रीडिंग कर रहे हैं, आप इसको सुनिए और इन्जॉय कीजिए, और बार बार सुनिए, बार बार पढ़िए. ट्राई टू ग्रैब द सेंटेंसेस, और इसका आपको जो डिफ़िकल्टीज आए तो प्लीज़ आप कमेंट में लिखिए. कि आपको क्या डिफ़िकल्टी आ रही है, आप क्या क्या आपको डिमांड है, क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है फ्रॉम अ टीचर, एंड सो ठीक है गाइज, आप प्लीज़ आप स्टडी कीजिए, लेट अस सी, विल सी अगेन टुमारो, बाय, गुड लक, ऑल द बेस्ट।